I'm Justin Boyd.
And I'm probably getting sick before New Year's. I'm Brittany Pacheco, and we are the Watchers in the Basement.
Welcome to the Watchers in the Basement. We are here today to discuss the second teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday. The movie hits theaters next year, December 18th, 2026. Of course, if you joined us last week or about 10 days ago, we reviewed the first teaser trailer, which featured Steve Rogers, his return to the MCU, the fact that he will be in Avengers Doomsday. Today, the focus is on Thor, the God of Thunder. Now, these trailers, we talked about this in our previous podcast, and I'm sure you're aware that these trailers have been leaking online. But today, they actually officially uploaded or dropped this trailer on the Marvel's YouTube account, on their other social media accounts, and so we're talking about it today rather than a couple days ago. Obviously, we had the holidays, we had the Christmas holidays this week, but yeah, I think our strategy going forward is we're gonna wait until the trailer's available online before we react to it or discuss it, simply because I don't think any of us want to go to see Avatar: Fire and Ash, even just to watch the trailer. Like, um, that movie's doing well, doesn't need the gimmick. That movie's made over 750 million or something in 2 weeks, so it's doing
Good
fine.
grief.
Um, and yeah, so I just like how they just release it online and we can all watch it. And like, these trailers are doing huge numbers as expected online, so people are interested. Just let people watch it this way. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about these trailers as they're released. Looking forward, we already know the X-Men will be featured in the third trailer. The fourth trailer apparently is gonna be a Fantastic Four and Wakandans mashup. And
Hmm.
there are rumors of a fifth trailer coming, which I assume would be Doctor Doom. However, I should say fifth teaser trailer, because reportedly the first full trailer for this movie will drop during Super Bowl 60 on February 8th. So
I heard that too. I was
we will
actually
be
going to ask you about that.
yeah, we will be looking out for that. We will definitely be reacting to that after the Super Bowl. So join us for that. That'll be a Watchers Football weekly or Watchers Football mashup with our MCU coverage. So please bookmark your calendars for that. We'll be going live then to discuss it.
Mm.
Um, so Brittany, let's get to the Thor trailer. The drop today, like I said, it's about a minute, 20 seconds.
Mhm.
What'd you think about it?
Not a whole lot going on. Obviously, it's mostly just a voiceover of Thor praying to his father Odin, and it's it's something different, I feel, in respect to Thor.
Yeah.
There Thor has always been just very sure of himself. He's a god. He's
Yeah.
a god of thunder. He just, even from the first movie, he was just very sure of himself. And over a period of his movies, also with the team ups, we kind of start seeing those layers be pulled away from, like, peeled off of him. And especially in Love and Thunder, when at the very end, spoiler if y'all haven't seen that, he adopts a girl who is named Love, and that's his daughter, also, spoiler, played by his real life daughter, India Rose. And she's also returning into for Doomsday, which I think is great. But for Thor to get down on his knee and pray to his father and basically ask him for strength that Thor has always had physically, right? He's incredibly strong. But this is a different kind of strength that he needs to prepare him on a completely different emotional level
Mm.
so that he can return to the one that he loves, and that is his daughter.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a man or a god who went from being so sure of himself and just knowing everything, couldn't be told differently, and has ended up losing so much, losing his home, losing his brother, losing his father, losing his best friend, and losing the love of his life, Jane, and then to gain it in a different way through a child.
Yeah.
He's going to do, not to quote Captain America, but whatever it takes in order to protect her and to keep her safe and to make sure that they're okay. And so the vulnerability that Thor is showing by praying to his father and asking for that strength is really emotional, I would say.
Yeah.
It's very different. I can't help but think for Chris Hemsworth on his with regard to his private life, right? We heard that he carries the genes that can trigger Alzheimer's, who wanted to take a step back from acting so that he can enjoy his life, his family, and make those memories and what have you. And then I kind of can't help but feel like this is in a way bleeding into the professional life that is his work, where he is so, as I said, vulnerable and trying to do whatever he can to keep what he knows and loves together.
Yeah. That's a good take. I do think that his personal touch on this character in these movies has been an important part of that character. I mean, that's why, the reason why Thor is a comedic character in the MCU or somewhat comedic character is because Chris Hemsworth is a comedic person. I mean, he really does bring it. I mean, he's very funny despite having, being this jacked up guy and like the Hollywood good looks. He's also really funny. And so it wouldn't surprise me that, that, his family life is starting to kind of bleed into the character and, to add stuff to to the film. Let's talk about just some visual stuff. And so I'm going to we're going to play the trailer. We'll have it muted. We're able to do this whenever it's not leaked, when it's actually out there. So let me fire that up. And as we're talking about, we can kind of show you what's going on in the background.
Cinematically, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great. And that's one of the criticisms with the Steve Rogers one is the Steve Rogers one. Not that it looked horrible, but I saw the leak before I saw the finished product, the one that they released, and the quality was so poor that once I actually saw the legit version, it didn't look that great. I mean, it looked okay. I think I like the idea of it. This one, however, looks great. And I never saw this one leaked, because the one that leaked about this one he was saying something different. And it had a thing at the end talking about how Loki was going to return also. We know Loki's going to be in the movie. Tom Hiddleston's in the movie. We'll get to that in a little bit. But this, I think it looks great. It is interesting, though, he has the short hair, whereas, the last time we saw him in Love and Thunder, he had the long golden locks again. So he's got the short hair, which is the look he had in Ragnarok and Infinity War. And Brittany, I'll pose the question to you. What do you think the reason for the hair is? It simply just, short hair don't care, or is it, what's the thinking? Why does he have the trimmed hair again?
Oh, I think he let Love do whatever she wanted to his hair, as a girl dad would do, right?
Yeah.
I can say that from firsthand experience. I also used to not put like traditional makeup, but like costume makeup on my brother, who would later in life become a girl dad himself. And so I want to say maybe it's because Love did something to his hair and therefore he just went back to the short locks. Who knows? It's really not of great concern to me as to why does he have the short hair again. Continuity wise, what bothers me is that he doesn't have the miscolored eyes anymore. Remember, Rocket had given Thor an eye to replace the one that he lost, and it was like an amber sort of color. Chris Hemsworth, or Thor, has blue eyes, and even in Love and Thunder, his eyes went back to being both blue, which bothers me. And then here, both eyes are blue. Bothers me, but whatever. That's just continuity. And
another
y'all
continuity,
know I hate that.
Another continuity thing I want to mention, following up from Love and Thunder, is we're seeing him and he's kneeling and he's praying in this forest in the woods, and he has Stormbreaker with him. Now, if you remember the end of Love and Thunder, he has Mjolnir and Love has Stormbreaker. So I wonder, like, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe he uses both weapons. I don't know. But I do wonder why he doesn't have Mjolnir here. You would think he would.
That's a great question too. Also because Mjolnir also had a makeover itself.
It did. Yeah.
Love decided to do some things to Mjolnir and whatever. Who knows? Maybe something happened to Mjolnir, or Love decided, hey, I'm a fickle child. I want Mjolnir back versus Stormbreaker. Who knows? Who knows?
I don't think that. Go ahead.
Those are going to be answers that we're going to get those are questions that we're going to get answered for the
Yeah,
movie. I mean,
maybe
it's
not.
just, but for continuity purposes, yes, I totally
Yeah.
understand where you're
It's
coming
just
from.
like his hair and the weapon have been so important to him in other films. That's why they were like the first things I noticed was like, oh yeah, short hair and also where's Mjolnir. So
Yeah, but for the most part in Love and Thunder, he was using Stormbreaker, obviously, and so,
yeah, yeah,
uh, that's kind of just the progression of Thor, I guess, because he even changed his outfit. Like if you're watching here on YouTube and you look over our shoulders, you can see the costume I'm referring to that
mhm,
Thor was wearing throughout Love and Thunder. It wasn't the same outfit that we have seen in the previous Thor movies, but it was more comic book accurate, I believe,
yeah,
like Mighty Thor related. And he's not even wearing that. It's this is also reverting back to the previous costumes of Thor, I think.
yeah,
So
yeah. I thought that like what he has to say, like the words on the page that he delivers are very strong. And I want to read the transcript for
yeah,
everybody. He
go
says,
for it.
Father, all my life I've answered every call to honor, duty, to war. But now fate has given me something I never sought, a child, a life untouched by the storm. Lend me the strength of the All Fathers so that I may fight once more, defeat one more enemy, and return home to her. Not as a warrior, but as warmth, to teach her not battle, but stillness, the kind I never knew. Please, Father, heed my words. Now, in that, he mentions to fight, one more battle against, he says one more
An
enemy.
enemy.
We
Mhm.
assume that means Doom, obviously, Doctor Doom. I do think it is interesting how he says, fight one more enemy and return home to her, because there is a theory online. A lot of people believe this. The fact that, okay, so in the what was it? The Fantastic Four
Mhm.
post credit scene, we see Doom with young Franklin Richards. And the thought is that he's going to kidnap Franklin Richards because Franklin Richards is this all powerful mutant who can shape worlds and universes and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay.
Right.
Then in the Steve Rogers teaser, we see Steve has a child. So there was a lot of assumptions by people online that, okay, Doom is going after Steve's kid. Maybe he's going after all the kids, which that was kind of Gore the God Butcher's role in
Yeah.
Love and Thunder.
Right.
But then you get to this one where you see that she's, with him, or at least
Mhm.
she's not in this scene with him. However, he says return home to her. So I think that I don't think that she's been abducted by Doom. Why would he say that? Would he say, help me find her and defeat this one villain and we can, you know, live our lives, in a peaceful manner or something? I do think it's interesting that it says return home to her, not return her home. Meaning I don't think that Doom is gonna kidnap her.
Agreed. I feel like this is a war that Thor is going to pursue without love, and somehow, as a father figure, you're going to do what any responsible parent would do, and that is to keep your child safe. So, most likely, that is what's happened at this point. He has put his foot down and said to Love, "You're not coming with me. This is something greater than you. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to keep you safe," and leaves her behind. Now, whether she pursues to follow him or not, that also remains to be seen. But I think that's probably the scenario of leaving the child behind so that the parent can go and fight this war and is there therefore praying for guidance and strength
Mhm.
to be able to return home to her.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just been this prevailing notion online that, oh, Doom is abducting all these kids, and I think it's more what Marvel is trying to show us is that these characters that we know and love have legacies. They have
Yes.
kids that can maybe pick up the mantle and maybe who knows what they're gonna do after
Well,
Secret Wars, but, like, to me, it's more about that than it is Doom. Doom is probably gonna get Franklin Richards because of the kid's power.
yeah.
But why would he necessarily need Steve Rogers' kid? I mean, maybe he would take him out of, just to, like, be the bad guy, right? Because take away because, in theory, we think that probably Steve Rogers going back and staying with Peggy is what caused the multiverse to break and what probably caused Doom
Right.
to, to do what he's doing in this film. So, but
Mhm.
I don't think his main plot line is like, in Infinity War, Thanos collected the Infinity Stones. I don't think that Doom is going to be collecting the children of the Avengers. I could be totally wrong, but just like right now, I don't believe that's
Yeah.
what's going to happen.
If you're new here to the Watchers in the Basement, you all are going to learn that I have no knowledge about any of the comics, any of the storylines with these characters, specifically Doom, and what Doomsday is going to bring, right? So this everything I say is just solely going to be based on what we get from the trailers
Right.
and, creative interpretation from the directors, right? I have no knowledge, first and foremost.
But let me say one thing real quick, Brittany. Is the fact that like the comic stuff, I know people always throw around, oh, in the comics, the
Right.
comics are their own thing. Like
Yes,
the
they are.
MCU has never followed the comics like word for word, and so that's
Right.
why
They
it.
pull
Yeah,
from different variations.
of course, but they
So,
don't. It's not like chapter and verse. They do their own thing
yeah,
to
yeah,
a
yeah.
certain degree. So like having
So,
call-ups knowledge, the people who have read the comics, they don't know what's going to happen in this movie either because they haven't seen the
right.
movie. Yeah.
Well, but I think some who are avid comic book fans, like Frank here, when he is able to join us, he will have a better working knowledge of what the storyline may be like
Yeah.
and be able to elaborate a little bit more and say, well, they could take it in this direction, this direction, this direction. It really doesn't matter. My point is for me, and what I'm about to say next, I have no knowledge leading up to what Doomsday may bring us, right? I don't know anything about the characters. I don't know anything about the storyline, whatever. Because the Russo brothers are probably going to take bits and pieces from everything and just kind of jumble it up together and then make it work because that's what they do. They're really good about that. My point is that if Doom is trying to collect the children of the Avengers, most of the Avengers do have children, obviously,
Yeah.
but I don't think that's going to be the sole plot line of this movie. I feel like kids being shown in the trailers is just going to foreshadow the next generation of
Yeah.
superheroes in this world, right? Whether that be the actual young Avengers, which we already have seen many of them, like the West Coast Avengers, right? With Riri, no, is it Riri? Yeah, Riri Williams, Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
We saw T'Challa's son, obviously. So I think, we've already started seeing bits and pieces of the young Avengers already kind of
Right.
scratch the surface, right? And I think this is just like furthering that whole idea that we are going to have to fade out these mighty heroes, these Avengers,
Mhm.
and we have to bring in the new legacy, right? But if Doom's whole storyline is about taking these kids like what the God Butcher was like supposed to do, what he ended up doing in Thor, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know the direction that this movie is supposed to be
Yeah.
taking.
And I just think no one knows except for the people like,
Yeah.
Stephen McFeely wrote the movie and the Russo brothers directed the film and the actors, they were part of it, but I don't know that anybody online is gonna have some more insight for any other reason.
No.
Like you've watched all the MCU projects, so you're as
Yeah.
caught up as anybody else is. So
Yeah.
that's the way I look at it.
Well, and then
Um,
the actors too. I mean, they only get, from my understanding in past interviews that they have done on late night shows, specifically, I remember Anthony Mackie on Graham Norton talking about how he only gets pages that concern him,
oh
right?
yeah.
When he has a scene, doesn't know the bigger plot, doesn't know what the
Yeah.
overall story is, right? They just get the parts that pertains to them. Elizabeth Olsen
Right.
said the same thing. So I'd imagine that this would remain true for this elite cast that is
Yeah, I mean,
Doomsday, right?
famously in Endgame, only Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans had the full script. They were the
Right.
only ones who knew the whole movie, which makes
Yeah.
sense. And I'm
Yeah.
sure Robert Downey Jr. has the full script for Doomsday and for
Yeah.
whatever else he wants. They're gonna
Although
yeah.
Although Samuel L. Jackson was also known for having printed 2 copies of the script and then left 1 on the printer and just
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's how it got leaked. But anyway,
Right. Right.
but yeah.
So, and then finally it ends, of course, it says Thor will return in Avengers Doomsday, and you get the Alan Silvestri piano
Mhm.
version of the Avengers theme, which is one of the best themes ever. And
Yeah.
Every
pretty
time
good.
I hear that, it's awesome. I do want to point, and then the end of it obviously is the green A and the Doomsday
Mhm.
clock. The countdown continues, which I think is a very cool gimmick. Do you have any thoughts on the countdown or the clock or just that, like the whole aesthetic of it?
I think it's good. I mean, if the plan is to release a new trailer every week, right, then gradually the days are decreasing, the hours are decreasing as well, the
Mhm.
seconds. It's a cool gimmick. I just don't understand fully still why Marvel isn't just dropping these teaser trailers on their official what do you call it? On their official platforms because the leaks have already happened,
Yeah.
right? And it's hard knowing what's real and what isn't. We discussed this previously
Mhm.
on our first teaser trailer pod. So if you guys haven't watched that, be sure to go check that out. It's over Chris Hemsworth. There's so many Chris's. Chris Evans' return as
Yeah.
Steve Rogers. But yeah, I mean, I still think it's working to a degree. Is it the best marketing plan? Probably not, but it's achieving its goal in the sense of creating buzz
Yeah.
and getting people hopefully excited about bringing back these heavy hitters that's
Yeah.
part of the MCU.
So I think the strategy actually is working for this fact. The fact that like for the hardcores like you and me and a bunch of people online, the people who are watching and listening to this, hopefully, like we're always looking for this stuff. This is our jam, right? We love this stuff. So it's kind of annoying for us because like I've already seen next week's trailer, the X-Men. I've seen the leak. If it's
Yeah,
true, I've seen it.
yeah,
It looks cool.
yeah.
I haven't seen it like
Probably my
tremendous
favorite
quality.
one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it like in great quality, better
Yeah.
quality than the Chris Evans one, the first one.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because I did not see this one leaked. The Thor one, I saw one leak, but he says different stuff. So
I
it's
think I did see this one leak last week.
and there was a version
Um,
where it was only in French. So I don't speak French. I do like Paris Saint-Germain, the soccer team, but I don't PSG for those of you out there.
did you just
Uh,
call it Perry Saint-Germain?
that's what it's called. No,
Paris?
that's what they no, I know, but that's what they call it. They call it Paris Saint. No, they do. I
Okay.
watch PSG. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I'm a
Okay, I
legit
know.
fan. Yeah.
Okay, good
Um.
for you.
So the one next week probably is the best one so far, but we'll have to wait till we get the full quality, the higher quality to see it. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is, I think like for people like us, it's kind of frustrating because we have to wait. But now we know. Like seems like every Tuesday now they're going to drop the latest one, which at least we
Yeah.
kind of have an idea. Um,
Mm.
but for the casual people out there, they're not seeing it unless they go to the theater, and by dumb luck, they see it on if they're going to see Avatar again, or if they just see it pop up on their social media feed on a Tuesday.
Right.
Like for those people, which obviously that's the people they're going for. You have to get the casual moviegoer. If you
Mhm.
want to make these $1 billion, $2 billion kind of movies, you've got to get the casuals to go
Mhm.
because the hardcores are going to be there anyway. So for us hardcores, it's a little frustrating the strategy, but I think it's working because it's kind of twofold. It's you're getting the hardcore base like riled up, like frothing at the mouth, waiting to find this information, these videos, and then you're
Mhm.
getting the casuals who are just seeing it like, oh, it's Tuesday, 8 a.m. and oh, there's a new Marvel trailer. Cool. Like
Right.
it's kind of working on both fronts. So
Yeah.
I don't love it, but I
Yeah.
think it's working.
Like I said last week, it's creating buzz, it's getting people talking, it's doing its job. But I agree with you. It's not my favorite method, but it is working.
I do wonder, like, with how Thor is, it's a more serious Thor, it's a more solemn Thor. He's praying to Odin.
Mhm. Mhm.
You do wonder, like, is this gonna be the end of Thor for a little while? I mean, not
I
forever, I don't think, but like, will he be sent to Valhalla? And maybe that's what his next film is about trying to get out of Valhalla or something. I don't know because we know that
I
Jane is there. We know that
Mhm. I'm dull.
that yeah, Heimdall is there also.
Mhm.
So that would be interesting if that's where it lands because like with Avengers Endgame, remember or in Infinity War Endgame, we went to those movies thinking, okay, either Iron Man or Captain America or both of them are going to die, right? And then we found out that Captain America he didn't die, but he's kind of lost in the man out of time is kind of lost in time, basically. You're not really lost, but
Yeah.
he's lost to us. He knows where he is. And then
Yeah.
of course Iron Man made the ultimate sacrifice and he did die. So I wonder with Thor being a part of the big three Avengers with Captain America and Iron Man, is it his time? Because when this movie first started the marketing, when they did the chairs back in March or whenever it was,
Mhm.
Chris Hemsworth's name was the first name they showed. And remember a few months ago, he had this
He
weird post.
penned he
Yeah,
penned something basically saying, "Thank you for all your love and support,"
right,
as this character in so many words, I interpret it as this character is coming to an end.
right.
Yeah,
And
it was very ambiguous for
it
sure,
was, it was.
but I do feel that by the end of this storyline, Thor will probably pass on into Valhalla, and I don't think you come back from Valhalla. Just
Well,
saying. But,
maybe.
we also thought that we wouldn't see Iron Man again with the
Well,
face of
we
Robert
might
Downey
not
Jr., so
we
who
might not
cares?
see Iron Man again. We might just see a Doctor Doom is played by the same actor who played Iron Man.
Yes, I know. It's like I still stand by it. Like nothing special
Yeah,
anymore. Like Infinity War and Endgame are no longer special because they killed off, one of the greatest characters they ever gifted us. And then it's like, oh, okay, well they're bringing it back. And then I also saw a rumor. Of course, I can't say it's credible or not. Probably was just a social media play. Supposedly, Wanda Maximoff is going to return in Doomsday.
well, I mean, if she does, I don't think anybody's gonna be surprised. I mean, come on, like,
No, I'm here for it though.
I mean, she might return in Vision Quest. That's gonna come out, I think, before Doomsday.
Yeah.
Although we don't have a release date for that show, but it's supposed to be like
Mm-mm.
fall of 2026, I believe. So
Okay.
maybe October-ish is my guess. We'll
Mhm.
see. We'll see if it. I mean, who knows? It may not come out till 2027. I'm not sure,
No.
but yeah. So that'll be something interesting to watch. Will this be the end of Thor? And speaking of Thor, in 2026, it'll be the 15th year anniversary of the first Thor film, which we're gonna review. We're gonna assess that. In fact, we're gonna review a lot of Marvel films and rewatch a lot of Marvel films in 2026 as we kind of lead up to Doomsday. So
Mhm.
buckle up if you like the MCU. Well, you know that we do. And so we're gonna be talking about a ton of MCU stuff in 2026, and I can't wait. I'm so
For
excited.
sure.
I've already started mapping out our plans of what we're gonna do because there's a lot of movies we haven't talked about. We've never reviewed the first Iron Man movie. The movie that started all. We've never done Iron Man.
Nope.
We've never done Captain America: Civil War, which, by the way, 10-year anniversary is coming up in 2026. We will be
Mhm.
celebrating that. We've never done First Avenger, which is the 15th
Nope.
anniversary coming up in 2026. So a lot of big stuff. We've never done the first Avengers movie, so we're gonna have to talk about
Nope.
the first Avengers film, and so yeah, it
First
should be
Thor movie,
yeah, yeah,
Infinity War.
yeah,
Yeah,
Infinity War. I've
there's
never reviewed that one. We
yep.
talked about all these movies in various ways, but we never done like a deep dive on each one of them, which we're
No,
gonna do
no.
in
Our
2026.
first
So
first deep dive on the MCU was Endgame,
the
right?
first movie we ever reviewed on this podcast was
Was
Avengers
Endgame.
Endgame in 2019. Yeah.
What a start.
We were just gonna be a Game of Thrones podcast, and then we
Horribly
opened the
disappointed.
door. We opened the door to the MCU, and the MCU is, kind of been our bread and butter, which I couldn't make me happier. I love the MCU, so,
You're welcome
yeah,
still.
yeah, I appreciate it. Um, yeah, so that's the big part. I did think
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw this, Brittany, but the Russo brothers released a message on social media with the trailer this morning, and they had a message that said, "When even a god has to pray for strength, hashtag fear Doom."
Mhm.
So that makes you kinda think like, yeah, maybe Doom is gonna get the best of the God of Thunder, and,
For sure.
we'll not see
For
him
sure.
maybe for a little while.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
It's sad, but I do respect it. I do respect if this is Chris Hemsworth's decision that this is his last appearance as Thor, go out with a bang.
Yeah,
Go out with a bang. This you play this character for, 15 years. Like, what an incredible run. Do us the honor, do yourself the honor, you know, say good, you know, farewell to Thor and continue with your life, whether that is with acting still or just stepping away from acting for a period of time and enjoy your family and enjoy the things that he likes to do. Like I respect
yeah.
that. Fully respect that.
Right.
Like go out on your terms. Go out on your terms.
if Thor does die in Doomsday or Secret Wars, I don't think it'll be the end of this character. I think we will see Chris Hemsworth play the character again somewhere down the road. I just think
See,
that's
and then it just doesn't. It's not special anymore. That's the thing. Like
no,
it's
but
just not.
no, but it's special in the moment, and then they create new moments. Like, I
We're
mean,
gonna move out of the multiverse at this point, so
nothing.
it's like let's just.
But to me, there's nothing they can do that can ruin Endgame because
Mm,
it's bulletproof in my mind.
okay,
Like, I mean, they could even enhance it by adding a Doom, post credit scene or something. That could
which
just
is
make
what
it
they're probably gonna do, which is
probably gonna do.
why
Which
they're re-releasing it in September.
yeah. So
Mhm.
Yesenia in the chat, thanks for joining us, Yesenia and King. We appreciate y'all always
Thank
being here
you.
for us. In the chat, she has the question recast. I
Nah.
so I don't want them to recast these characters. I mean, until you absolutely have to. I just think that like the first time that I've said this a million times, but like think about the first time there's an Iron Man that's not Robert Downey Jr. Like, do you think people online are going to like that guy? There is no chance in hell. He is going to get destroyed.
Especially if it's Tom Cruise.
Well,
Done.
it won't be Tom Cruise, but like,
Done.
let's say it's Ryan Gosling. Let's say it's Austin Butler. I don't know who, some younger actor, right? There's no
Timothy
way.
Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. Well, Timmy Chalamet. He's gonna do everything.
Timotei.
Yeah.
Speaking
Um,
French.
I just don't think that like we need to see these characters recast for a long, long time. I don't think it's different when it's a character who has a mask. Like I think you can do Spider-Man over and over and over, and they have just like you can do Batman over and over and over. But like when the person's face is a part of the character, it's hard to like get that out of our minds. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's so I'm in favor of passing the mantle or keeping these people around, even in a smaller role, just to keep them involved because we love these characters. Like I don't think any of us want to see these characters go away. I mean, obviously, these movies need to have some kind of stakes and some kind of drama.
They're gonna have to like go away at some point.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's
They're not
stuff
immortal. I
like
mean,
Chris Hemsworth is like 43 or something or 44. I mean, he's younger than I am. Like
yes.
I mean, he's going to
Yeah.
continue to do movies. I mean, he's got a bunch of
Yeah.
other movies coming out this year anyway, or in 2026. So,
But then I wonder, even as much as an actor may love portraying a character for so many years. I mean, look at Johnny Depp, who did Captain Jack Sparrow for so many
yeah,
years and for so many movies. There has to still be a moment of fatigue where maybe that person doesn't want to continue
right.
playing that role for a period of time, right?
That's different. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if Chris Hemsworth has come to that point, even though as much as he says he loves being Thor, maybe he's contractually obligated to say that. But maybe he's tired. Maybe he doesn't want to be Thor anymore, and this is his last hurrah, and it is what it is. Like
Yeah.
there's
Or
like
maybe,
Yesenia says, there are actors and they like to explore different characters, different
yeah,
roles, and
I understand.
so yeah, so much
Yeah.
you can do with one character. I agree, fully agree.
True, but these characters are a little bit different than like, if you're working on a police drama, and you're like on some show, like, like these
Yes, but when
characters
you're pigeonholed to doing
do.
just one role for so many years, and like
Yeah.
then you get that scapegoat of, oh, you can only be a superhero. There's no growth, there's no range. You know what I'm saying? Like
But I think a lot of the MCU actors,
let them
they've already
cook.
they've already branched out. You know what I mean? Like this is this is their thing. And not that they couldn't do other stuff, but like this is their thing. That's why and I got no problem with it. I want to see I don't want anybody to be recast, honestly. I don't I mean, until you absolutely have to, like keep them around. It doesn't what's it hurting, Like if they want to do it and people want to see them, like bring them back.
Teach their own.
Yeah. My final thing is we talked about this how originally in one of the leaks for the Thor trailer, they at the end it said Thor and Loki will return in Avengers
Mhm,
Doomsday.
mhm.
That was not the case in the one that was released online or the one that was released in theaters. So that brings me to Loki. We do know that Tom Hiddleston is going to be in the film. He's an announced member of the cast, and he recently did an interview with GQ magazine in the UK, and he had this to say about Doomsday. He said, "My contribution has been made. It's monumental. The core of the story is brilliant, and it surprised me greatly when I read it. It simply has never been done before." So very high praise from Tom Hiddleston. Now, I wouldn't expect him to dog the movie if he thought it were bad, but
No.
I don't think that like I do think that he thinks it's special, which
Yeah.
that excites me because like he's had a lot of really cool moments in the MCU, even with Loki. I mean, like with his show Loki, that had an epic ending. That was the best
That was yeah.
Disney Plus show with an incredible ending. But
Mhm.
even that ending, like the fact that he's going to be in Doomsday, to me, that doesn't take away from that ending of that show because
No, no.
he's too important to the storyline now to just go, yeah, he's over there. He's the god of stories. He has the multiverse by the fingers, but yeah, he doesn't matter. It's like no, like we need to see he needs to be a part of it. So
Well, no, I mean with Loki, spoiler, being literally at the center of all stories and all timelines, and he's what's keeping everything together.
yeah,
To me, that was never the end of his story. He has to be involved in others, because if you're at the center of it all and you see everything, how do you not get involved?
yeah. Or maybe someone gets you involved.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Maybe he gets a visit from Doctor Doom at some
Oh,
point
yeah, for sure. Can't
because
imagine.
Doom is famously a character who is of magic and of
Mhm,
technical prowess. So
mhm.
he is like Iron Man with magic also. So
Yeah.
that will be very interesting to see. And also, it's interesting that we've now had 2 teaser trailers that have been released officially. No shot of Doctor Doom yet. The movie's called
Nope.
Doomsday. The third one is all about the X-Men. Looks very cool. We'll talk about it next week.
So excited.
No shot of Doomsday. And I wonder, or of Doom. I wonder if they're saving Doom for that Super Bowl trailer because I
Oh,
think that
yeah, for
if
sure.
that's the first reveal, is it showing him? Maybe it's just all about him, which is fine by me. That's going to do such huge numbers being at the Super Bowl. Like you're going to get so many people to see this and like, oh, Robert Downey Jr. is now a different character. I think that's brilliant. Now, see that to me is great marketing. If you can
Yeah, yeah,
hold
yeah.
that to the Super Bowl, that's smart.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like that guy when we went to go watch Endgame in IMAX, the guy sitting next to me when Cap gets Mjolnir.
yeah,
The reaction is gonna be the same if we see Doomsday in the full length trailer that's gonna drop during Super Bowl. Fuck yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's gonna be my reaction for sure.
yeah. I can't wait for that trailer.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm enjoying these little teaser trailers. Honestly, I can't wait for next
Yeah.
week to talk about it. The
So
I
excited about
think,
the X-Men. I love
yeah,
that they're gonna have their moment
yeah,
because it's like the official
right,
welcome into the MCU, right? We've
right,
had bits and pieces here and there with Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, with Charles Xavier, the end of the Marvels with what's her name going into that other multiverse, right?
Monica Rambeau, yeah,
Monica Rambeau, thank you. And you get Beast, the Kelsey Grammer Beast. Oh my god, I nearly lost my shit when I saw that.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm such a huge fan of the 2000 X-Men. Like that was it for me. I'm so
yeah,
excited. And then of course, how can I forget Wolverine and Deadpool and
yeah,
Wolverine. So,
yeah,
but yeah, this is like the official of just the whole X-Men coming into
yeah.
the MCU, and I'm just so excited for it. I'm so excited.
And even those characters, I know obviously, Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart are both, this is probably
God
their last
bless them.
this is probably gonna be their last movie, I bet.
I
But
think for Patrick Stewart for sure.
he
I
said it
do
was, yeah.
he said it was. He said he was retiring after this, and I'm like, "You know what? Go out with a bang. Please."
But even for those characters, like James, spoiler alert, but James Marsden Cyclops has a pretty big moment in the trailer coming out
Oh,
next week, right?
yes.
A moment that he did not have in those movies that we
No, he
watched
didn't.
20 years ago.
No.
So even with that, like, I'm not in, same, of course, with Hugh Jackman, I'm not in any rush to recast these characters. Like, do you really want to see somebody else play Wolverine? I mean, I know people have been talking about it for years and years. Oh, it's going to be Jeremy Allen White, or it's going to be, there's
Someone
like
said Daniel Radcliffe. I was like,
Yeah,
"Harry
there's like
Potter?"
so many people, and it's like, but do you really want to see that? Like,
No, of course
when,
not.
like, so that's to me, that's what I was talking about with Thor, with these other characters. It's like until you have to recast, and like until like people, don't want to do it, Like,
Yes, in an ideal world, you don't want to see your favorite characters played by your favorite actors to be recast in an ideal world. We
right.
live in the real world where real people age and get bored
No, I
and
know,
want to explore other options. That's
but
all I'm saying.
a lot of people came back for this movie, and
I get it.
I bet
I
they'd come
get it.
back for another movie or another, show or
I get it.
something. So,
I could counter that argument in relation to the Harry Potter TV series that that is currently in production, but that's a whole other separate podcast for another day.
well, that's a different like, you're doing a remake, basically. Like, you're doing, like, a new
Not
version.
necessary. We don't need it.
No, I understand what you're saying, but, like,
Yeah.
the MCU is continuing a
I
storyline,
get it, I get it, I get
whereas
it.
yeah,
Yeah, I get it,
so
but they said goodbye to certain characters and certain actors, and then they're bringing them back, so it's just like, what's special anymore? What is?
well, to me see, to me, that's bad. That's bad when you, like because I don't even really know what you're talking about, but, like, if you're saying there are actors from the movies who are now gonna be in the show.
No, 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 no. We're talking about 2 separate things. It doesn't
Okay,
matter. It's
because
fine,
that
it's fine.
to me, that, like, when you're starting over, like, start over.
Oh, well, with regard to Harry Potter, the only actor that I'm fully aware of that they're bringing back from the movies into the show is Warwick Davis, who played Professor Flitwick, and that kinda I'm okay
Yeah,
with that. That's an homage, he gets
yeah,
to continue playing the same role and whatever. I mean, that's fine. I do appreciate that, but it's not quite the same as the MCU. Like, the MCU with the storyline for certain characters ended, and then it's like, that was over, case
yeah.
closed. Now we're bringing them back, and it's like, "Okay, whatever."
And, I do have faith in Marvel that whenever they do decide to, recast these characters for the X-Men and maybe even, like, Captain America down the line, Steve Rogers and all these other characters, I do think that they will explain it in the storyline that makes sense. Like, I don't
I
think
sure as hell hope so.
and to me, the most like, the thing that makes the most sense is just it's a different world. It's like,
Yeah.
we've told the story of the 616, now we're gonna tell the story of the 428 or something. Like, we're gonna
Mhm.
pick a new world because that's kinda what Fantastic Four kind of gave us
Yeah.
a little bit
Eh,
of,
I get that. I get
yeah.
that.
So, now granted, I know people hate the multiverse, but to me, like, the multiverse is just
But you
it
can
offers you so many options that you can do
Yeah,
anything. Yeah.
exactly. It's like the one phase where you can kinda get away with being able to reinvent storylines because it is
Right.
a multiverse, right? You can
Yeah.
just say, "Oh, it's because of the multiverse." It's like it's a cop out, it's a little bit of a cop out, but as long
Eh,
as you can tell a good story hold on, if you can tell a good
yeah.
story, make it make sense and tie it back into, like, the main story, cool, great.
Yeah.
But if you're just saying, like, "Oh, we just wanted to be able to tell the story and it's because it's in the multiverse," it's like, don't be a cop out.
Yeah, I don't really understand the people who hate the multiverse. I mean, it's just it's all make believe. Like, so, like, what does it hurt? Like,
What do you
there's
mean it's
bigger.
make you believe Captain America is very much alive and well.
He's alive and well in the 616. We know that for sure because he's returning to Avengers Doomsday. So, and we will be returning to review Avengers Doomsday next week when we get the X-Men trailer. Can't wait for that. And yeah, we have a lot of Marvel coverage coming your way. So get ready for it. Uh Brittany, any final words before we get out of here?
Nah, I think, pretty much covered it. Not a whole lot to say on a, minute, 15-second trailer, but somehow we were able to discuss this for 45 minutes. So, hey,
Okay,
cheers.
final thing I'll ask you, which trailer did you like better? Which teaser? Did you like the Chris Evans or the Steve Rogers or the Thor?
They're both about the same for me personally. Cinematically, though, I do like the Thor teaser trailer
Yeah,
better,
yeah,
but for me, both didn't really hit me hard. Like, if the X-Men leaked trailer that I saw on social media is the actual one, bruh, like, that is that is
yeah,
that's amazing.
yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Well, and I think that one is gonna kind of explain where those characters are and how they're gonna exist for however long in this world in the MCU. I think
Yeah.
that's the difference. Whereas,
I'm so
yeah.
excited.
So obviously I'm a big Chris Evans fan, big Steve Rogers fan. To me, the surprise of having that the first one was like that was really cool. But
Yeah.
I agree with you. Cinematically, the Thor one looks better. The
Yeah.
message in the Thor one is stronger. And
Mhm.
but yeah, I like these. I like these teaser trailers. I think they're doing a good job with these. And looking forward to 2 more, maybe 3 more. Who knows? Maybe they'll do one a week for the rest of the year until December 18th. I don't know.
I
Probably
mean, they have
not,
enough
but
characters. Like, why
they
not?
do. They really do. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
that about does it for this week's episode.
Mhm.
Now that you know what we thought about the second teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday, we want to know what you thought about it. And Brittany, how can people let us know?
Well, you can let us know by leaving a comment in the comment box down below if you're watching the replay. Shout out to King B. Johnson and Yesenia for joining us in today's live chat. We always encourage everyone who stumbles across our podcast to take part in
Yep.
our live chat. It's so much more engaging, so much more fun when we get to have these conversations with y'all real time. And it's great. We love the interaction. So join us for our next podcast, which will hopefully be next week with the next teaser trailer from the MCU. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 500 before the end of the year, y'all, which is tomorrow. It is tomorrow. Our goal was to get to 500 subscribers by the end of 2025. We are about 29 subscribers away from that. So help make that happen. It would mean so much. Don't forget to also hit the like button if you enjoyed our review on teaser trailer number 2 for Doomsday, and hit that notification bell. That way, you know the next time we go live. You can also follow all of our social media, which you can find in the description box down below. And lastly, follow all of our audio podcasts available to you on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, as well as many other platforms. Be sure to give us a follow and a 5-star rating.
Thank you, Brittany. Appreciate it. And this is December 30th. This will be our final podcast of the year. So Happy New Year, everybody. We will be back in 2026. We have so much planned. As I mentioned earlier, we have a lot to discuss. And that's just Marvel. There's so many other things that are happening in 2026. The last season of The Boys.
Oh,
obviously,
man.
we'll have the NFL playoffs here very soon. So much going on. We hope you'll join us. So, So once again, thanks to Brittany. So I just want to say, everybody have a good night. Enjoy.
Be safe.
Yeah, be safe.
Make smart decisions.
Yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will see you next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Happy New Year, everyone.